What's up, guys? It's CJ. I'm here with Mike and Richie. We're going to do another special live episode of Superhero Sundays. Thanks for joining us. The topics for today is Thor: Love and Thunder, She-Hulk. We're going to get into Namor being casted for Black Panther. But before we do, like always, stop, go watch these trailers we're going to talk about. And when you come back and join us, make sure you like and subscribe, because any and all support is greatly appreciated and helps us impact the community by honoring real life heroes, man. So with all that being said, hope you got your cups, because I got mine. I got Justice League today. You can see it, but yeah. Justice League. Oh, Star Wars for Richard.
Star Wars, because it's dropping this Friday.
It's dropping this Friday, man. All right. Cheers, guys. And let's go ahead and get into some fun topics, man. Speaking of fun, Mike, I gotta say, man, Thor, I think that's the key word for Thor: Love and Thunder. It's fun. It's going to be fun, man, because the trailer dropped, and I keep watching it over and over. I like it, man, and I think it's going to be a fun movie. I'm sorry, Mike, they're not going to go with your dark tone for a movie for this story arc. They're going with gore, all the gods coming into this Thor movie. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Richard first, though. I know Mike has his thoughts, but I'm gonna go with Richard first, man. The trailer dropped, man, today, actually, right? So what's your overall thoughts so far on this trailer, man? What do you think about it?
The new trailer of Thor. To me, I'm pretty excited for it. You really get to see Natalie Portman, and she buffed up for this movie.
She buffed up, man.
She buffed up, and I know she's already like in her not late, but like early 40s probably. So doing that kind of commitment to this role, that's pretty good. We finally get to see Zeus, kind of overweight Russell Crowe, and kind of disappointed in how that looks. I'm pretty sure there's a reason for it, but
I think so.
I'm pretty sure Mike has his thoughts on that, so I'll reserve my thoughts on that. And Gore. We saw Gore, the God Butcher.
The main guy, man. Yeah, so much controversy on that, man. I don't know. It's just like...
Yeah, so I'm not too familiar with the character of Gore. To me, like he looks pretty brutal. Of course, I just know Christian Bale as Batman, so I just keep hearing like Rachel, that's all that comes out of my mind. Comes to mind whenever I see Christian
Swear
Bale.
to me.
Yeah, man. But he's a good actor, though, bro. So I don't know.
Oh, he's a great actor. He's a great actor, but unfortunately, College Humor. Shout out to College Humor. They ruined Christian Bale Batman for me.
That's a great clip, man.
So I'm excited, and because it also we've said this a couple times already, that it drops on my birthday. So gonna be celebrating, doing my birthday thing, watching some half naked Thor. So
but yeah, we're also going to throw an event for Thor as well in July. So it is exclusively for our people who follow us on IG and YouTube and Twitter. So be on lookout for that, for Thor 4 in July, which is going to be Mike's favorite movie. I'm calling it right now, Mike. You're going to love this movie, man. What's your thoughts on the trailer, man? What do you think?
It's going to be similar to Thor Ragnarok, where they take something that comic book readers are familiar with, and completely change it.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate for comic book readers, but that being said, Thor Ragnarok is an entertaining movie, as what you guys call it, a popcorn flick.
Definitely.
But this just reeks of Thor Ragnarok, and that's the tone and everything. Thor Ragnarok did have a little few things that were a darker tone, but this one's going to be a little darker, but same kind of like funny, corny, just overall, just
Fun, like you said, it's just fun. I think, like you said, it's the same director as Ragnarok, and so you said it right. Like they just changed up the story arc. That's what MCU does. They change things to fit, I guess, their franchise and how things are going to move along with Phase 4. But I think Mike really wanted that dark tone for this story arc that they're going with, and yeah, you're not going to get it, man. I think going into this movie, you have to have that mindset. Like, I'm not going to get what I want, so let me just kind of enjoy for what it is, I guess. I don't know what you think.
It is funny though, because they take so much from that comic book from Aaron, I forget his last name, Thor, God of Thunder, where it has in the beginning of the first trailer that dropped, you have the 3 different versions of Thor, early like kid Thor, then teenage Thor, and then our Thor. And then of course you have that shot for the comic book, and then Gore the God Butcher, the Necro Sword, or whatever they're going to call it, because technically Sony has the rights to, you know, Null and the whole Venom and symbiotes and stuff like that. So they can't really say that it has that same origin. But I'm still very interested to see how they're going to tie things. Because at the end of what is that, Moon Knight, all the gods and their avatars and that sort of thing, and them tying in all the different realms. Like they talked about how that field of reeds is just an alternate to the ancestral plane that the Black Panther had. So now they're tying in Greek mythology with Norse mythology. So, and I think Basset or Bass is one of the gods in the pantheon that is over there in the Olympus, Mount Olympus, and it's basically the same god that Black Panther.
Yeah,
that's right. And so I guess now with the whole thing that is tying in, that Black Panther is probably an avatar for Bass.
Yeah, I wonder, right?
Yeah, because it's basically, right, he takes the powers of the Black Panther that's going, so he's basically the avatar, kind of like Moon Knight is the avatar for Khonshu. So it's probably going to tie in a lot of things, especially with Black Panther Wakanda Forever coming out not too far after. So
yeah, you're right. They're tying all that together. You're right. Yeah.
And I really like what I texted you, CJ, the whole thing that Gore the God Butcher, every scene that you see, everything's just black and white. The only thing that's color is his eyes. Yeah. And then even in the fight in the end, in the trailer, you kind of see the color being pulled out of Thor and Valkyrie.
Yeah.
I really like that aesthetic that they're using.
Yeah, I think visually this movie's gonna be great. Thor Ragnarok visually looked great as well. So I gotta say, I think that's what they're going to be great at, is the visuals on this movie. But I guess visually, again, with Gore, people were really upset with how he looks. They say he doesn't like the comic. He's not comic accurate, I guess is what they say, because he didn't have those, things come out of his head and things like that. His nose looks different. He actually has a nose. In the comics, he really doesn't. What do you think, Mike? Do you think, because of Christian Bale, like Richard said, is a great actor, do you think that would be like the saving grace? Like people kind of forgive, Marvel for doing that because Christian Bale would do so well with this character? Do you think they'll be like, okay, we forgive you for that if Christian Bale nails it as Gore?
You're absolutely right. If Christian Bale absolutely knocks this out of the park, people will forget what Gore looked like in the comics. They will now instead see Gore the God Butcher as Christian Bale's portrayal.
Yeah.
So they're really lucky that they got an actor that gets so like in depth into their character. Like, in what is it, Pianist, he was like super skinny or whatever.
Super skinny, yeah.
Yeah, and then
that was the movie.
The Machinist.
The Machinist, that's what it was. The Machinist. He got super skinny, and then the movie right after, he had to gain like 80 pounds of mass, and then he had to go back down and then go back up. Like this is a guy that puts everything that he has into his characters. So yeah, if he comes out and knocks out of the park, then doesn't matter what he looks like.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Right, Rich? I mean, Christian Bale could be the first, I don't be the first, but one of the actors that can pull off a great superhero and pull off a great villain. That would be something kind of crazy for his resume. What do you think about that, Rich?
Yeah, of course. I mean, and I think that's why he was casted for this, because he did so good, or he did so well as being the Dark Knight. And you know, he just didn't play Batman well. He played Bruce Wayne well too.
Yeah.
So you know, when you go on a role like that with someone who has double identities, you know, their acting abilities has to come through, especially when they pull it off. So he already has his credibility with that, and then plus with all the other movies that he's done, you know, he really is an outstanding actor. I think it was like 2006 or something like that. There was a voice clip of him going off on one of his assistants or something like that, you know. But other than that small little thing of that, I mean, he's been great. You know, you'd want a Christian Bale in your movie, no matter
exactly.
What.
Yeah,
You know? And hopefully, if they don't kill him off in this movie, maybe he could continue to, you know, if he knocks it out, he'll continue to portray Gore for later movies down the line. So, but
man, MCU is known for killing their villains, man. I don't know.
That's one of the bad things that people hate about. One of the things that Marvel does that people think is bad is that they kill off all the villains. They're one-shot villains. The only ones that weren't one-shot were Loki, only because he turned into a good guy. And who else? That's it. That's it.
I mean,
that's pretty much it.
Thanos had a few good movies there, no?
Yeah, but he died. Like,
he eventually died. Yeah.
Dead. Like, so I mean, sure, there's, you know, a multiverse with so many other versions of them, but still, like, Marvel usually kills off their villains. So unfortunately, Gore the God Butcher might not make it through this movie. But then again, you got to think about all the other things that they're also doing in this movie, like Jane Foster being Thor. Why is she always in Thor form throughout the whole entire trailer, even when she doesn't need to? Well, that's probably because she has cancer, like she did in the comic books. And being Thor keeps her alive.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
In the whole trailer, she's always in Thor form. She's never not in it. And you see Thor a lot of the times not. She's wearing that cut off leather jacket and so on and so forth. And then he changes, but she stays that way the entire movie. Or the entire trailer, I would say. And then you have, of course, the pantheon of the Greek gods. Now, the one thing that I find interesting is that these Greek gods are huge. They're like 10 feet tall. They're not the size as the gods like you saw Thor, Loki, Odin, even Ego, Peter Quill. They're all the size of people. But then the Greek gods come in and they're huge. Zeus is like 10 feet tall if you look at them. And I think there's even a shot where there's, I think, Jane Foster and Valkyrie sitting down. You see a god's feet, and the things are huge compared to their heads, and it's like ridiculous. So, wondering why is it that the Greek gods are so much bigger than everybody else? Is it because
interesting
higher gods? Are they going to make them like a higher form of race? So there's a lot of questions that need to be asked, because in Moon Knight,
they're big.
So that's really
they're big. Yeah, you're right. There's different tiers, I guess, of the gods. I guess they're trying to display.
Because Thor, God of Thunder, Odin, all of them, they were not big. They're not bigger than people. They're the same size. Odin was the same size as everybody, and he's an All-Father. Like, he's the the highest tier in Norse mythology. But then you go and see these gods over there in Greek, they're huge, absolutely massive.
Yeah.
So it's just really interesting to see what exactly is going to happen there.
Man, and you guys brought up Jane too. I didn't realize that Jane was actually snapped. Like she was one of the people that was actually blipped. And
in Infinity War, she's on the screen.
Yeah, her name appears there. And in this trailer, she says, you know, how long has it been since I've seen you? It's been with 3-4 years. And you know, Thor's like, no, it's been like 8 to 9 years. That's a 5-year gap. So that she lost, that she probably doesn't know now, realizing like, yeah, I was gone. So yeah, I did not realize that she was one that was blipped. So yeah, I don't know. And like you said, maybe she has cancer, like in the comics they have that. So yeah, she's gonna be interesting to see how they develop her character. She's gonna be gone at the end of this too. I don't know, man. So I am looking forward to this movie. I like Thor Ragnarok. I think this is going to be a fun movie. It's not going to be the dark, gritty kind of, I guess, kind of matching what the comics were. I think it's going to be fun, and it's a good movie. Visually, it's going to be great. So I'm looking forward to it. I cannot wait for Thor, man. And speaking of more drops for Marvel, She-Hulk is going to drop also, and that trailer just dropped, man. I'm going to go with Richard first again. I think for me, I mean, you're married like me. I think this looks like a nice date night fun movie. You watch with your wife.
Wow, really? You gotta do me like that?
Because it has like a mix. It has the mix of like a funny sitcom with some action going to be in there, obviously, because she's a Hulk. I don't know, man. Sorry, right, Mike. Now, you know, hey, ladies out there, hey, he's available in there. This nerd right here. There he goes. But no, I mean, I don't know, Richard, man. What do you think? You think it's kind of something you expected to be kind of funny like this, or were you expecting something different?
I didn't really know what to expect, but from what I know, I mean, it's there is some comedy to it, right? In the comics, and there is a very I don't know how to say this right, but like a sexualness to her that they just really they really do, you know, like She-Hulk is always in like very minimal clothes and cleavage is out, and she fronts it. So I think it sounds like they really embrace that in this show. I think just the thing with a lot of people, from what I've been hearing, is just the CGI of how she looks. Now maybe it's not a finished product, so they threw the trailer out, and you know, it's just an unfinished product as of now. You still have a couple more months until they can, you know,
get it fixed, right?
But for the most part, I mean, I love the actress who portrays her. I forget her name. She was really good in Orphan Black. But other than that, I mean, Bruce Banner's in it, so you know, at least there's an origin. One of the original Avengers is going to be there, so that's always a good hook.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it's going to be sitcom-ish. Sorry, CJ, I don't mean to disagree with you. It's going to be more adult. It's probably going to be one of the more adulterated shows that Disney Plus is probably going to be putting out. That's the vibe that I'm getting. So should be fairly entertaining. But I just hope they don't, you know, which I don't think so, but I don't think they're going to just revolve around that whole sexual energy of the show.
Yeah. I hope not, man. What do you think, Mike? What was your vibes off of this trailer we got from She-Hulk, man?
You know, I after this trailer, I really sat down outside by myself and thought to myself, which show would I like more, She-Hulk or Miss Marvel? And I can tell you, I have no idea.
Oh, man.
It just looks absolutely ridiculous. Like, maybe that's part of the hook of it, that it looks absolutely ridiculous. And now she, unlike Hulk, she's trying to be in society. She's trying to do things. She's trying to still be the woman that she is by picking up guys, going out, doing that. Like Richard said, she is not ashamed of her sexuality. Like she's out there. She's a very prominent woman. She holds a very high position, a lawyer, So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. It just seems really corny.
Nine episodes, bro. Nine.
And that's the thing that just
episodes.
absolutely killed me, that we got 6 episodes of Moon Knight.
Only 6 episodes of mostly all of the shows, and it's like 9 episodes for She-Hulk, bruh.
The only thing I can think of is that they're gonna jam pack this with just absolutely ridiculous cameos, because it's probably gonna, because she's a lawyer. What did they say? She's a lawyer of the superheroes or something like that. In the trailer, when she was walking in, they said you're gonna be part of the team that represents superheroes that need lawyers. And the only other person that did that is who?
Daredevil
in the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, where he represented Spider-Man himself. So that would be a nice little, shoe in back into Disney, especially with the talks of them doing their own Daredevil series. So there's that. Oh, and you also got Abomination. In the show, they're actually the same kind of cell that he was in Shang-Chi when they went back and they put him there. So you got that actor. I don't know who the villain's gonna be, but I think it's just gonna be a bunch of shoehorned in cameos. For 9 episodes. I hope they do a Boba Fett where it's like 3 episodes of not her.
I was gonna say they might do that, bro. Because I don't know. Well, 9 episodes. It's gonna be like 2 months of our life we're watching She-Hulk, bro. So it's like, I gotta say, for Marvel so far, their writing is always on point, though. So they haven't had a show where I just wanted to just absolutely turn it off. Where I got so bored. Where I'm like, nope. Yet, yeah. So I don't think that's going to be the case with this show. I think the writing is going to be great. It's going to be like a good story, I hope. But like you said, cameos might be what's going to save this show if they bring in Daredevil. I don't know, man. I'm
Miss Marvel will be the saving grace.
Miss Marvel's going to come in. Oh yeah,
wouldn't that be something that she shows up in the show? But I have no idea why she'll be in the show. But it really shows how Marvel's really going for, like you said, kind of an more of adult show, but it's clearly about women empowerment.
Yeah. Definitely.
There's nothing wrong with that, but just make the show good. Like,
make it good, man.
You have this character, one of the original, Avengers in the Hulk. Like, don't make him just a sideline character.
Yeah.
I don't want him to be Mr. Miyagi type of thing where he's telling her sweep the leg.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Yeah, speaking of women empowerment, because Miss Marvel is the next show we're gonna get, right? And if that flops and then you have, She-Hulk coming out there, is people are gonna get really kind of bored and another person that we have to get a story behind. And it's the last show was a bomb. So it's what are you gonna do with this show? So
it's true. I mean, there's a potential of 2 misses here in a row.
Yeah, and the only thing that's saving them is that around the same time, 2 monster of movies are going to come out in Thor, Love and Thunder, and Wakanda Forever. But I don't know. It just, with Miss Marvel and She-Hulk coming back to back, it's going to be one of those that if something doesn't come and save these shows, that's going to be a long 3-4 months of shows.
Yeah, you're right.
It's going to be something that's just going to be
underwhelming and people just really disappointed.
Think of Boba Fett without the Mando and just
that would be so bad. Yeah.
And it's really unfortunate because to then Marvel has done nothing but put out substantially good work.
Yeah, man. I don't know. We're going to see. I mean, even like I said, speaking of great work, like the CGI, people were kind of complaining about that for She-Hulk. But I saw people saying like Marvel's been really missing with CGI on this phase. I'm like, have you seen Eternals? Have you seen Shang-Chi? Like, they haven't been really missing on CGI. They've been hitting really great with the CGI. So hopefully they do fix it for She-Hulk. We'll see. I'm pretty sure they will. I hope they get it right. I mean, at the end of the day, she is a freaking green monster. So it's like, it's a TV show. They're not going to spend that much money on a show as they're going to spend on a movie. So I don't know. I guess we have to just wait and see when it drops. But yeah, She-Hulk, Mike's favorite show, dropping. Is it end of the year, or they haven't announced the date yet?
No,
right?
I think August.
Yeah, August, something like that. Yeah,
I think it said August. Hey, look on the bright side. At least there was no leaks or like words of like them having to reshoot a whole bunch of other,
like Miss Marvel.
Yeah, scenes and stuff like that.
Or somebody coming out and saying that the lead wasn't up to par with their acting.
Yeah, you're right, man. But I gotta say, I am looking forward to, like I said, watching it with my wife. I'm gonna have some fun watching it because it's gonna be 2 months of our life, bro. 9 episodes, one coming out every week. I don't know if they're gonna drop 2 at the first premiere or something, but yeah, man, it's gonna be a long ride, but hopefully it's gonna be good.
They gave me too much for my birthday and decided to take everything away from me afterwards.
Disney give you a lot for your birthday, man, with the Star Wars coming up, and then Doctor Strange. Yeah, it was a lot coming out for this month.
Top Gun, Stranger Things.
Love, Death and Robot. I mean,
I started watching that today too.
The
first. No, I already watched the first 2 seasons. The first 2 episodes of the new season.
The second episode, Bad Traveling.
Yeah, the one with the crab. Yeah, that was crazy.
I already got a lot of praise for that episode. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm still on season 1 for Love, Death, and Robot, bro, man.
For somebody that's leading a podcast, you're so behind in so many, not just like shows, but I'm talking about like these are like comic book shows, like The Boys. You just finished season 1.
I just finished season 1.
Invincible.
Like, I finished Invincible.
Morbius.
I didn't watch Morbius.
Yeah, I watched it.
There's
just like so much back to back, man. There's just so much going on, man. And like, I mean, I kind of want to skip to this topic of like Disney putting out so much, man, and how they have top grossing stuff come out all the time. It's hard to keep up, bro. Like they come out with banger after banger. I mean, people might hate it, but they come with a lot of content. A lot of money that they're putting out into these shows and movies. And it's like, man, after a while, you're like, can I get a break? Like this is month after month, something coming out and it's good quality stuff. Like with The Boys, I miss like that seasons of The Boys. And it's like a great show. But my time was invested in, Loki, Wanda, all these other shows. I didn't get a chance and I missed something great. And I'm finally catching up to it. I'm on season 1. I just finished season 1, starting season 2 of The Boys. And yeah, man, there's just a lot of stuff that's just coming out. And it's like, you got to plan your time. I got a wife and kids and a job. It's hard, man. But Disney, they always come out with something great, always dropping something. Mike had a big post of the other day that had, 12 out of the 15 top grossing movies of all time were all from Disney. So it's like they're taking our money, man. Like even on this show, most stuff we talk about is a lot of Marvel stuff. I mean, we like DC too, but it's like they've been doing really well, bro. I mean, what do you think about that, Mike? 12 out of 15 is Disney. They just do it right, or what? What is it, man?
I absolutely. I mean, there's nothing really you can say. I mean, the proof is in the pudding, right? That 12 out of the 15 highest grossing movies of all time are owned by Disney.
It's ridiculous, man.
And
Avatar, Endgame, Star
Infinity
Wars,
War, Star Wars, and then
Spider-Man.
don't forget about stuff like The Lion King.
Lion King.
That's up there, like
Frozen.
Yeah, Frozen.
Titanic.
Yeah, because that was once the top, grossing movie. And it's like, you think about like, what are the other three? And then you look and it's Jurassic Park. Well, was it Jurassic World? And,
Jurassic World.
And that's up there. That's in the top 10. And then rounding out the top 10, Furious 7. Really? I had no idea.
Randomly, right?
Yeah. Vin Diesel was making that kind of money.
Yeah, man. Like, Richard's favorite actor.
I am Groot.
Top 10.
Yeah, that's crazy thing. But I mean, I think I told you guys this. I mean, there was a lot of hype with that movie because that was that movie that Paul Walker passed away during production. So a lot of people wanted to see how they were going to do that. How were they going to finish that movie?
And you know what? I'm really surprised that a lot more Harry Potter movies didn't make it on that list. Like Harry Potter made it on there like number 13.
Number 14, actually.
Number 14, yeah.
And I was like, wow, really? Like, out of all the hype that people talk about Harry Potter, y'all didn't go, back to movie up. Like,
yeah, bro.
I'm part of that problem because I never watched a Harry Potter movie in the theater. Never did.
Wow.
Yeah, because I didn't know much about it. I didn't really watch Harry Potter movies until after me and Cynthia got married. And she kind of forced me and my daughter to watch all of them. Took a few weeks, but and then ever since then, we've been Harry Potter fans.
Good. I don't think I've seen a couple in theaters, but like the rest of it, either at home or I don't know, someone rented it, something.
I didn't get my sister got me into those movies.
Yeah. Black Panther's on the list too. Surprisingly, it beat out Harry Potter. Black Panther.
So, I mean, Black Panther during the whole BLM movement.
That's true.
It was
everybody wanted to go support
all black cast,
well,
except not completely all black, but majority of the actual main actors all black. So I mean,
black director.
It came out, then just.
It made it says here,
it had great representation for the Black community. That's for sure.
And not only that, it had great representation, but Disney did it right with putting in the money that it needed to actually put out a good product.
Yeah,
having great representation and having a good product are two very different things.
Yes.
We're going to talk about representation in a little bit when we talk about Namor in the new movie, but it's just like if you have great representation and then don't have the production value, unfortunately, it's not going to make the money that it should. Black Panther had everything going for it, and it should be in the top 10.
Yeah, you're right, man. You said Disney to have that money to back your project, you're going to do well just because of that. They're going to make sure that what you put out is great quality. And that's why I think She-Hulk, it's not going to be something where you're like, this is like really bad. Like it's going to be good quality. People might not like it because of certain things, blah, blah, blah. But visually, I think it's going to not be lackluster.
No, pump your brakes, bro. You don't want to go in like lump in She-Hulk with something like Black Panther.
Black Panther
it's legit, bro. This is the type of movie that Disney had to put out. And it had to be good.
Yeah.
Because of the representation during the time.
Mm-hmm.
If it came out and it was absolute garbage, can you imagine the backlash Disney would have?
Yeah.
But that movie was meant to be great.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, number 13 on his list over Billy. Great job. And then, Black Panther's going to drop again this year. Black Panther 2. And there's news of the casting for it, which is Namor the Submariner. I don't even know if they're going to name him that anymore, right, Mike? I mean, they're completely changing his origin. So it's like, what do you think about that? I kind of hear what you want to say about Namor and the I guess the Latin culture they're going with.
I don't think they're going to change the name. I don't think they can because of the copyrights, and that's what the character's called. They might give him a nickname that he might go as that might be different throughout the movie, but he's going to be casted as Namor the Submariner.
Okay.
Now the changing of his origin. I had this conversation with one of my friends that are also really big comic book reader, my friend Mick, and I kind of agree in his opinion that if you're going to change something so much of a character, why not make a new character?
Yeah.
Why change the origin of one of your first mutants completely? Not just, Atlantean is not really a race because it's not real, but now you're going to fit them in the culture of, Central America, kind of like the creature from the Black Lagoon type of thing, where a submerged race. That I'm sure that's what they're going to tie it to, like those, movies of Creature of the Black Lagoon. I think it was like in Central America, like Panama and that sort of thing, that they're going to do something that's what people saw.
Yeah.
Representation, Latino culture, Aztecs, that sort of thing. Yes, was I happy that finally we're gonna get representation in that form in the MCU, and not just any character, but Namor the Submariner, who came out before Aquaman. So yes, that's awesome that we're gonna get representation for somebody in the mainstream, and he's going to get his own movie and that sort of thing. So yes, I'm happy for that, but I kind of want it to be not something where it's like, oh, they changed everything to fit this narrative, this PC type of thing, where if they came out with somebody that has the backing, the source material for it, that would be even greater for me. My opinion. Like if people like kids that go see this movie and see this guy that represents their culture, and they're like, oh, I want to read these comic books,
there's nothing for it. You're right.
It kind of doesn't really exist that way, and
that's a great point.
It's just one of those things where at this point we'll take it. Right now, what do we have? Nacho Libre.
No, you got a lot more, man.
A great character. We also got Zorro, that sort of thing. Blah 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 blah. Those type of things who inspired big comic book characters like Batman. Like the movie that their parents were watching in the opera was Zorro, The Mask of Zorro. So all those type of things. Walt Disney was a big fan of Zorro. In the restaurant that I went to, was a really fancy restaurant in California Venture called Carthay Circle. In there, they have a very prominent display of the Mask of Zorro.
Oh, wow.
Yes, we have representation in the past and that sort of thing. But when I'm talking about this movie, when a kid, goes in to see it, gets this inspiration, feel proud of having this character displayed in the large screen, and then at the end, when kids, after seeing Black Panther, I'm gonna go read these comic books, I'm gonna go read this, it's so great, and they turn around and say, hey, I want to go read Namor. It's not
what they saw.
It's not there. So
I'll agree. You have some great points, man. For me, I gotta say consistent. For me, it's like I'm not a big fan of like the race swapping for characters. I don't get so butthurt where I'm like so mad and going to start cursing people out and throw my anger online and get in fights. I'm not that person. I'll go see the movie. I'll support. But if I'm gonna be consistent, I gotta say I don't really like the race swapping. Like you said, if you want to represent a certain culture, you have characters for that culture already. Just build up those characters, make movies for them, introduce those characters. And like Mike said, if they have something on the screen that you see and you're going to go do follow up on it, you have it there. But for someone that you change their whole culture for just for this movie, it's like now you're stuck with that and you have to go forward with that, but you have no other material for it if you want to follow that character. So I'm gonna be consistent and say I'm not too excited about it, but I'm excited for the movie. I'm pretty sure it's going to be great. I know it's going to be a good movie, Black Panther 2. But it's just like, I don't know, man. People throw the argument is like, what if they change their race of, I don't know, like America Chavez. What if they made her, another race? It's like,
or Black Panther,
or Black Panther. It's like, come on, guys. It's like, stick with the character. One that really kind of upset me that's coming out is Disney too, is Ariel, Little Mermaid, man. That's the one thing. I love the actress. She's a great actress. That the girl's playing Ariel. She's beautiful. She's a great singer, very talented. I don't know why they did that to her. I'm sure the movie's gonna be cool, but it's like they casted this Black actress to play Ariel. It's like, no, I don't think that was a good move. Do a spinoff.
You're gonna catch a lot of heat for that.
I'm gonna get a lot of hate, but for me, I think that was not the right move. Ariel is a classic character, man. Just keep her the original. That's the one way swap that I was like, why did they do that? Otherwise, I'm like, it's whatever to me. So,
but as we said before, if she knocks it out of the ballpark, no one's gonna look at that. Because
I mean, for me personally, I'll go see it. If it's a good movie, I'll enjoy it. But there's a lot of people who are like, I'm not going to go see it, like just because of that. So
and
that's
that's a bad way to look at it, right?
That is a bad way.
When they announced this last year, me and my wife were discussing, and who my wife is a big Little Mermaid fan. It's Ariel's her favorite Disney princess, to her, as long as she could sing well and she can hit those notes,
she can.
That's what's going to matter to her the most. And if and when she does that, it's not going to matter because it's going to be fun. It's going to be entertaining. The whole theater is going to be singing along.
Yeah.
Things like that,
What you got, Mike?
It's one of those things where I really hope Disney doesn't make the character too much part of the Black culture, if you know what I'm saying. Like, this character is a mermaid, like not part of the culture of,
a human, Black African American.
So I just hope they don't try to make it like hip and trying to make this a new age type of story. I just hope that they keep it neutral. Yes, mermaids could be in different colors and shapes and so on and so forth, but it's one of those things where she needs to be the character.
Yeah. You don't want it to be under the urban sea. Right?
Yeah. No, but it's true. I mean, they already made a movie that's on Disney Plus called Sneakerella. Like, really?
I was about to,
Like, I get it, sure, but how many people actually like that movie?
Well, that movie came out like 2-3 years ago.
I know, but it's like, how many people actually like that movie? Like, was it even good? It's like kind of like what I said about Black Panther. Like, if you don't put the representation with good quality writing and production behind it, it's actually going to flop and do terrible, and you'll get backlash for it. So I just hope they do the right thing and actually put forth a good product.
That's the main thing. Is a good product. Does it hold up? And we will see. So for Namor, the actor name is I'm gonna butcher this name, but it's Teraoka Hirata. I believe that's how you say his name. We'll see what they do, how he portrays his character. Again, I think it's going to be a good movie because it's Black Panther 2. You get to see, what they're going to do with T'Challa and the casting and the whole franchise, how that's going to move forward. Cannot wait to see that. And we're going to do an event for that movie as well. So, yes, guys, be on the lookout for all of that stuff, man. But we're going to tie up this episode. We're going to do what we always do, which is honor a real life hero. And I actually had a special person reach out to me and say they wanted to nominate this person because they're a great, amazing person. They wanted to honor Richard Teraoka. Someone reached out to me and said, we should honor Richard because he is a hero. And you are, brother. So, Richard, man, thank you, man. You are a great, amazing guy. Thank you for being on this podcast. I guess it's real quick, man. What we always do is share the story of, our heroes. Is there anything that made you or inspired you to get into the medical field, man? Or anyone inspired you to go into the medical field?
It's kind of crazy because I always credit my ex-wife who introduced me to the fact of, or not the fact, but into the field of echocardiography. I had no idea that was even a career. I knew that ultrasound existed. I only thought it was for babies. That's all I knew.
Yeah.
To do ultrasounds of the heart, never knew that. So based on that, found out where to go to school. I was stuck in a career doing security for Macy's. I worked for Macy's for 14 years. I loved doing like the first responding stuff. I was always good at, responding to someone getting hurt and things like that. So when I decided, when I catapulted into this new career, I quit that job. I went to school. I had the support with my family. I had my daughter with me. Nice. My now loving wife has been side by side with me from beginning of school to the end of school.
Nice.
Till now. So my mom was a registered nurse. So, I'm Filipino. So there's a lot of us in the medical field.
Runs in the blood, man. Yeah.
What was that, Mike? What was that, Mike? Joseph. Yes. Yeah. Medical field or mailman, as what Joseph said. So that was how I got into the medical field. So
briefly, man, I was with you during the COVID, during the pandemic, man. How was it for you being moved from one department to another and then going back to deal with these patients, man? How was it during the pandemic for you?
During that first couple months there, I got relocated, or what's the word that they called? I forgot what it's called. I can't think of it at the moment, but they had me move to a different department because I have asthma. So my manager said, let's protect you. Let's protect you. Let's, until we get more information, and then we'll go from there. But they put me in the ER where to act as a volunteer person, where patients coming into the ER, I could walk them to the room, get them blankets and things like that. So really, it was supposed to be like hands-off kind of thing, which did not really do that so much. But it's crazy. But because of that experience working down there for almost 2 months, I really got an idea what the ER goes through on a nightly basis. Those are some real life heroes down there too, because every day someone's walking in who could be a threat, who could be diseased, who could someone that could change their lives in an instant like that. So it was such an honor to work down there, get to know some of the nurses, some of the clinical partners, some of the doctors, and building those relations, so it was really great.
Yeah, man. Again, you're a hero, bros. We love you, man. Thank you for what you do for this show. I got to get you a gift. I don't know, maybe a coffee mug.
Don't need to get me.
I'll get Richard was right on his coffee mug. I don't know. But I know Mike hasn't got his mug yet either. I know Mike's waiting for his mug. Mike is right. Mike is always right.
Mike is always Mike. You got to get a mug for Mike that says like MC writer or MCU writer or
Marvel Mike, man. He's Marvel Mike.
I would rather have the Michael's right.
We'll get you Mike is right, man. No, but seriously, both of you guys, man, you guys are great on this show. But Richard, man, you're a hero. Thank you. You were honored for this show, man. So congrats, bro. That's going to conclude a special episode premiere for this episode of Superhero Sundays. Thank you guys for tuning in. God bless. We'll see you next week. Peace out.